Hi, y'all. It's been a while since I've done a Hang On Air. How about you, Jamie?
Oh, probably the last time was with you.
God, like a year ago? Wait. It really was a year ago, wasn't it?
No, I think we did one in December.
Did we?
No. It was December a year and a half ago.
No,
No, it's
because
more than a year.
I would have been completely bald. I don't think there's any
Hmm.
hangouts on air or videos of me completely bald.
Is the last hangout with you with long hair?
Yep. Last hangout was long hair. So just because I think Peggy, you're probably watching. Yeah. So I had a little thing with sarcoma, but I'm all in remission now. So yay! So like half my celebration is all this new stuff coming out from Google. All right, so earlier today, I had to do a bunch of stuff with curriculum planning, and we're using Google Sites per content level and grade level. And I got a notification last week, I was on vacation, that we got approved for the early release for Google Sites, for the new Google Sites. And me being me, I'm a huge Sites fan. I always have been. I had a site made in 2009, and nothing has changed since then, Google. Um, and I had to play with it today, and it was phenomenally different. And I spent 2 hours basically going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I harassed Jamie on Voxer and thought, you know what, we really need to share this. So that's what we're doing today. So I gave Jamie a temporary login for our domain because you have to be in a school domain in order to use sites right now. So Jamie, any initial thoughts before we show everybody?
I was fascinated. As anyone who's in Fayette County schools knows, we use Google Sites as a portfolio platform for every fifth grader in our district. And for the past 2 years, I wanted to throw myself into a wall. It's been like that would have been nice. It's been really, really difficult because it looked nothing like anything else we did in Google. I repeatedly had to tell fifth graders, save that. And they would look at me like, what? You have to save that. And so there's so many features that made the old Google Sites not feel anything like Google that when you look at this, you go, oh, yeah, that's what a Google site should look like. It really feels exactly the way you would expect it to do, especially if you use Google Classroom. It feels exactly the same.
Yeah, and I like the change. For me, it made me think instantly of forms. But yeah, I'll bring up another site that, for comparative purposes, for people who haven't really used sites a lot or who have totally given up on it, just so we can kind of see the difference. So I'm going to share my screen and we can get going. And hold on one second here. All right. Okay, so right now I'm logged in my domain. And I'm going to go here. In order to access the new sites, you actually have to go specific to a specific address. So I'm going to sites.google.com/new. If I went to my traditional sites.google.com, you would see all my other sites that I have in the district right now. So none of that has changed or gone away. It's essentially just a whole another location. All right, so now I'm going to go back here and you'll see that it looks a little familiar. Now, Jamie, what does that look like? Oh, Jamie, I think you're muted, honey.
I
There we
muted
go.
myself. I hate when I do
It's
that.
okay.
That looks like Google.
Yeah, but what for me, what did it made me think of something in specific. It made me think of
Drive,
Drive,
Docs,
Docs, and Classroom as well.
Classroom.
Right. So for those of you who haven't ever seen the Classroom side of things, I'm popping over here, and you can see how it's set up in the block kind of format as well. So literally following that block format, you're going to have a list of sites that just pop up. It's phenomenally easy to use. You can see right here, you have that drop down, owned by anyone, owned by me, and not owned by me. You have everything else you're used to seeing. So those of you who are special and have to see everything in a list, like me, and who don't like the blocks, you can toggle between those things, just like you see in Drive. And of course, you have the hamburger on the left, where you go from sites and classic sites, which, by the way, I have found to be super useful because you can just go back and forth. And it also kicks you right into Drive as well. So everything kind of seems a little more seamless. Now, my question is, I haven't actually gone into Drive. I don't think you can access sites via Drive. So this might just be a unique thing here. So I'm going to go into the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to create a new site. And while that's going, Jamie, I know that you created a site earlier.
I did. I can screen share mine.
Yeah, go ahead and share yours while I'm getting this up and going.
This was play. This was pure play. I just wanted to see, could I pull some stuff in? Could I throw some stuff around? And so what I found was that the ease and simplicity of just this whole box where you can insert the text box, your images, and then anything from Drive, anything from your slides. I just really liked how easy it was to grab something and drag it. Like this Georgia image, so that's a map of Georgia. I took that map and I just drug it and dropped it. And that was never a feature, ever, before in Google Sites. It was like misery trying to get something on there. So this is just a header. And then I did like subtitles, added an image, as you can see. And the fun thing about this was, this took me a while. Like you can see, you can take your picture and just drag it around. So I was trying to figure out how to center it. But then I was like, oh, look at that.
You see the lines that pop up? Yeah.
Yes, the lines pop up. And it's like, what? So that was really cool, because then that helped me to get to visually see, okay, well, I can put that there. I can, move this video and easily embed the video right there with the link. It will, I assume play. I haven't hit it. But, and then I added I just found something I'd done in my EDS class a long time ago and added that. And again, it's as simple as dragging it. The adding of the pages was super, super simple. And then the toggling between the pages, very clean, very easy just to pull in. Obviously, this is from FCBOE, so Oconee not going to be able to see it. But I just love that you see when you move your cursor and you navigate, it automatically just prompts you, what do you want to do? Hey, what do you want to do? Look, hey, do this. Oh, change your image. Oh, reset the whole thing. And I really just loved every bit of just how easy it was to add those pages. So over here, when you just click pages, you just add a page. And if you've ever worked in the old sites, this, oh my gosh, this.
Yeah.
And to me, the themes, obviously, we've all given Google their criticism for their themes over the years. These are simple. These work. I don't think that we need craziness in, themes. So for me, I really just thought this was super simple to build. I definitely would want to play with it a whole lot more before I ever felt comfortable doing it with kids, but I really like it.
Yeah, and I think we talked about earlier when it comes to the themes and just the settings. It's just like anything else that Google has rolled out with this new kind of approach, that they always give us something that's not entirely finished, or I say it's finished, but not perfected, not overly thought out, right? They actually are looking for your feedback, and I'll show in a little bit that it's similar to Classroom and everything else. It's really easy to submit feedback, highlighted spots and screenshots and everything else. So they are looking for the active feedback, which I think is phenomenal. And there's a couple of things that I think that deserve the feedback. So we'll take a peek here. And by the way, if you hear any loud noises in the background, it is currently pouring down rain in Watkinsville, Georgia. Aww. So I know. What can you do?
No rain in Fayetteville.
I know. Sorry. Drought times over here in Georgia, y'all. All right. So here I am. I click that red button and it just pops up here into an untitled site. I'm going to go ahead and point out something, that when I name the site, it doesn't automatically name your page. So I'm going to call this, my practice site. I could name, but notice your page title does not automatically get updated as well. So you can name this whatever you'd like to name this. So I'm going to call this, welcome to the new Google Sites, exclamation point. And like Jamie was showing you, you can drag this out longer and a little bit shorter as well. And you do get little bars that pop up that kind of navigate you through some kind of basic design principles, which I really appreciated. And I'm just going to move over here to the right so it looks a little off center. And I can also change the image pretty easily. So when I click change image, I'm able to get a gallery of things just like forms. And some of them look exactly like forms.
And that's Google Classroom too. All that stuff is from Google Classroom.
It is just like Classroom, I know. And then, of course, upload by URL search. They do have a built-in search. So I could look for, we'll show that we used to do EduView, and no images found. Oh, we're so sad. And albums, and of course Drive. So it's really easy to customize this. I will say I've been playing with this part, the image, for a little while, and it is hard to figure out what size is best. I don't have it on this computer, but I've been trying to put up just like a branding for our district, and it's been difficult to find the perfect size, mainly because of this. So before we get into that, looking over here in the top right, you do have a go back, so you can undo a last action, and you have this eyeball. And for those of you who are familiar with Forms, Forms also has an eyeball that provides that preview that you can actually actively share. So I'm going to click on this preview, and right here in screen, I get a full site preview that is responsive. So those of you who are fans of assistive, well, that one didn't do responsive. I don't know why. But you do have an iPad view, and you do also have, much to my joy, a mobile phone view.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that is great. So now people can actually download this to their home screens as a mobile app, which is clutch for me. And just as a reminder of what you're going from, right? This is what I spent months building.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the old sites where,
Well, then also, Kat, like I'm thinking when you're building a site, you don't know what people are going to be using to view that site. I went to a county website literally like 2 weeks ago on my device, and the county website was horrible because it wasn't meant for a mobile device. So this is fabulous because it lets you see exactly what a mobile device user is going to see.
Right. I feel like it's suddenly like Google is realizing that everybody's on phones finally. So yay for Google. But yeah, for this, I made this responsive, but you have no idea how much code like I had to put in the background. And that was not fun for me. So going from this to this is a phenomenal difference. All right, so next, I'm going to just scroll down here to my home, and literally I have two things I want to show. You can insert things right here on the right sidebar. So I could just click on text box, and it will pop up a text box. And I'll just call this, welcome to my page. I can do everything that you're used to doing, centering and so forth. I am still limited on, much like everything else that you initially get. And just like when we switch from old forms to new forms, I can change the title, and I can do a heading and all these things. There's not much customization beyond that, unfortunately, which kind of I did not like so much. I can link it very easily. Over here on the right, I can click here and I can change a regular, emphasis 1, emphasis 2. So it already has these presets that you can actually put. And you can also put an image in the background as well. So I can go to a gallery and I'll put chalkboard in the background. So now you actually see that I have that little piece right there with something in the background. Google, do you remember in Hangouts, Jamie? Let's talk to the screen for a second. Do you remember in Hangouts how we used to be able to make ourselves really pretty? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
So it used to be in the upper right-hand corners, like if you're watching me right now, right? It
was
like,
they took that away.
Right here. Yeah, that's gone. So you can make yourself black and white and all these things, and some things that adjusted automatically.
Maybe Google realized we were already pretty.
There we go. That's exactly it. Well, now Google will actually do that to your images, and I actually find it a little annoying because it automatically does it. And it's right here, the bottom right, remove readability. So it's assuming that people want to be able to read your writing better, and so it makes it readable according to Google. So I removed that because it just was super annoying for me. But some people do like it. Next, by scrolling over here, I can actually delete. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that section. And
you took your screen share off. We can't see you.
Oh, you can't see my screen share? Okay.
Well, I can see you, which is delightful, but I can't see your screen.
Okay, that's fine. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so I deleted it. So let me do it again. So I'll add a text box. I will name this welcome again. I'll go ahead and center it. I can bold it if I want to. I have to highlight and click bold, which is something that you didn't have to do necessarily. I can also do bullet points, all the things you're used to. There is a little hot dog. So you can actually code the font, and you actually have to code in the box. So just heads up, that's how you do the coding. And I don't like that. It makes me a little confused because you have to go box by box to code. So just, heads up. You can strike through and clear format. I'm going to go ahead and click normal text, and I'm going to make this a heading. And then again, I'm going to go over here to the palette that pops up, section background, and do an emphasis 2. All right. So Also, what I discovered, Jamie, are you ready for this? Because you don't know about this. You see this blank space right here?
You just
Watch
made me
this.
think. You made me think of Taylor Swift. I see your blank space.
Well, I'm not going to write your name, but instead I'm going to double click and watch this. Boom. Do you see that? So I don't
I
actually.
got that, and I couldn't figure out how I got there.
Right. I'm
I did
already
the trick.
anticipating. I'm already anticipating because both Jamie and I train teachers. Jamie's at Sarah Hart Mentor, and I'm at the district level, and I'm already anticipating the oh my gosh, what is this? Like people accidentally double clicking and clicking things they didn't want. I'm already anticipating that as a problem. As nice as this is, you already have it over here. I like doubling up, but this might be a little confusing. So now I'm going to do an embed URL. And I actually have the YouTube video right there, and it pulls it up. It will just search for the YouTube video. So let me put that down a little more. And you just click add, and it'll just put it in right there. I can drag it over to center it. So notice now it's all drag and drop. And let's say that I wanted welcome below that. Over here on the left, you see, I don't think there's a Google word yet for those things, but I'll just scroll up here. And the blue, if you see the blue line, that means that you're moving things around, which is important to know because everything you're reordering stuff ends up being blue lines, which can be a little difficult to see depending upon your layout. So far so good, right? And like Jamie was talking about, you can actually embed a whole Drive folder, YouTube, calendar, map, docs, slides, sheets, forms, and charts as well, directly from Drive, and anything that has an embed URL. What I have noticed that I do not like, page layouts. Where are my page layouts, Jamie?
Oh.
So like here, all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here to, let's do BYOT. Okay, so if I clicked on edit in the old sites,
All right.
right?
You could do
Remember
columns.
the layout, right? You
Mm-hmm.
had the 1 column, 2 column, and granted it was still annoying and blah, 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 and so forth, but it was nice
Oh,
because
look at
then I
that.
could
I'm gonna
actually,
close my eyes.
right? Shush, 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 shush. All right, so I was actually able to do all those things, and then of course save and cancel, which you don't have to do anymore. But here I don't have that capability. Now, you play with images. You said you're able to just pick up an image at all, right? So I'll just do Oconee schools. Let's see what pops up. That's not Oconee. I'll randomly pick an image that has nothing to do with our school whatsoever. That's fine. Select. And
Ooh,
Jamie said you could just drag this wherever, right?
Yep.
There we go. So that's my way around doing that. If you have something that is draggable, then you're able to do that. Now, what I can't do, unfortunately, is I can't layer up words. I can move this over, right? And then I can move that around that way.
Right.
But I haven't played yet to see if I do, let's play right now, right? So I want to add another text box here.
Well, I guess when you're talking about like the formatting of the columns, the being able to drag and drop wherever you want almost gives you that option. I mean, because you can create your own columns.
Right. Well, if this is,
essentially.
oh, wait. Oh, look at that. I just, see? This is what we do for playing. I know. Still can't do too much, but notice that all I did was just add another text box and I just moved it up and that text box went away. So never mind. This is so much better. And now I am happy. So I learned something new just talking to you. Yay.
Sharon Mitchell, who is the instructional technology specialist at Kedron Elementary, just down the road from me, is watching, and she is pumped. She also has to do a whole bunch of these Google Sites for her portfolio, so she is really liking the new look too. So, yay, I agree, Sharon. So much better.
Oconee County Middle wants to do portfolios for everything too, so I'm thinking of all these things. So what I'm going to do so far, you've seen what I've done. Let's preview it. All right, so far, that's the main site. Wow, that actually looks really good.
It does.
Oh my gosh, so here's on an iPad sideways, and here's on a phone. Let's test the phone. Oh my gosh, Jamie, that looks really good. Okay.
Well, and like I said, it's just so good to know what it's going to look like, because if you are setting that up to look like columns, you need to know that on a phone, it's not going to come out in columns. So if you're putting a header over something on the site, assuming that when everyone looks at it, they'll see that header over that image, well, obviously mobile devices, they won't. So it's perfect to be able to go, oh, well, I need to rethink my design of the site.
Yes, I totally agree. All right, so next to the preview button, you have a person button. And so now here's where things get a little tricky. So I'm going to click on the share. We know that the person button is now sharing, right? So right now it's just me. We're used to this more. This is that traditional kind of advanced thing that you don't see in Drive anymore unless you click advanced, right?
Right.
Notice I can notify people just like you're used to, send a copy to myself, and I can also prevent editors from changing access, et cetera, so forth. So Jamie is set up as a fake faculty user right now.
Oh,
And
and Kat, I would like to thank you right now. It's raining in Fayetteville.
See, I brought good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, so notice though, what am I missing?
Oh, you can edit.
There's no view.
Oh.
Right, and we'll get to that in a little bit because it gets a little funky from there. Okay. So I'm going to send you a notification. Jamie, if you go to sites like google.com/new, you'll be able to hop on with me, which is really important to do. All right, do you see right here where it says link to share only accessible to collaborators, right? So people who are collaborators, just like in forms, they're automatically editors. By the way, you can only have one owner, which is a problem. So like here, for example, in the old sites, see, all my colleagues are owners. So I was able to make me an owner, and my two colleagues, Dina and Brian, they're both owners. Unfortunately, here, as I discovered this morning working with our curriculum director, Amy Perry, if I make you an owner right now, Jamie, I'm no longer an owner. You lose that privilege.
Wow.
Now here where it says, sorry for the thunder, specific people can access. I'm going to click change. All right, here we go. Public on the web, anyone like we're used to, right? So I want to say anyone with a CUNY Schools link can edit. Do you see this? Do you see this problem? That is huge no new stuff right there. They can't just view. It automatically gives them edit privileges.
No, we don't want that.
Right, so I'm trying to figure that out. If anybody else has access to this and plays around and can figure out what this works and how this works, please let me know. Okay? I'm going to assume it has something to do with publish, which I haven't played with yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Right. Well, until you publish it, then anytime someone would be in, they would be editing, right?
Right. So notice on publish, okay, let me point out really quick what your sites used to be. So here's sites.google.com/a/acunischools.org/instructional tech. Oh my gosh, that's huge and long. Here, acunischools.org, I'm going to call this, practice site. It'll tell you if it's available. And I'm going to say, I can't change this, by the way. It's automatically just anyone at CUNY Schools will be able to find and access the site. So I can't make it completely public yet, which is strange to me, right? Publish. And so take it a second to publish. And I will let that publish and stop screen sharing. And Jamie, what do you think so far? You're muted, PS.
The dogs. I have a new puppy. If y'all haven't seen, I got a new puppy. She's wonderful, but she and the 1-year-old dog, sometimes they don't always see eye to eye. So I've been trying to be conscious and mute myself. I love it. And I see that you added me. And that's so quick and simple and easy and clean and, it's better. It's so much better.
Right, so
I guess
do you see what I was beating out all morning?
Yeah, so I guess my thought, what we have done in Fayette County is we've created a template because, Google Sites was so much work that we just created a template and basically had the kids go in and edit that template. I wonder if that would even be necessary anymore because this does feel so, much like what they normally do. And I think this would just take away so much of that that we currently do to, save ourselves our sanity.
Right. Well, you can't. That's something else. Let me pop back in and screen share. And we'll go to templates really quick for people who are curious, and then we have to get into pages because I have a couple beefs about pages. Here, with templates, like Jamie was showing earlier, you don't have an option to make your own yet. So all you really can do for customization is, say, okay, I want everybody to use Aristotle or Diplomat or Simple. And then from there, choose a font style of light, classic, or heavy and a color. And then you can just change the front image. So, but I can't share that template with other people.
Here's what I love. You can see that I'm in.
Yeah, do you see this?
Yeah.
All right, so Jamie, this is what I'm going to do before you start editing. I'm going to go ahead. We've seen insert, right? That's pretty easy, understandable.
Yes.
Themes, I think everybody who's used forms before can understand that. Now I'm going to click on pages because here's where it gets a little interesting. All right. So I have my home, of course. I have my hot dog here, and I can always rename the home page. Notice that what I'm about to do does not affect anything else, right? So I could say start here, enter. You see that my practice site did not change and the title did not change?
Mm-hmm.
That's both good and bad. Because you have to remember, well, I got to go to, if I change it here in pages, that's my navigation. Well, maybe I want to change it here. Maybe I want to change it here. All right, so here I'm going to add a page. All right, and I'm going to call this Pat's site. And just click done. So where do you see it pop up, right? You have, right here, you have a top navigation.
Mm-hmm. And it creates it like right there. My biggest beef was having to like create these pages and then add them to the navigation. That, oh, that's so much better.
Yes. So, and just for people who are like, what are they talking about? Let's revisit this lovely
Oh
website.
no, I can't even look.
Well,
you're gonna burn my eyes.
Gosh, you're making me so sad because now all this work is like for naught. Thank you again, Google, but seriously. So I'm gonna go over here to the gear, right? Edit site layout, and then I have to click on here. And here, whatever pages I've added, I have to physically add and move. You remember this, the moving up and down?
But you had to create the page first. Like, you had to actually design a page and then go in and move it around in navigation. And it was so heavy.
Interesting, Amy. You see where it says add page and add URL? I want to see if I can make a page a URL in a second. So let's go here. All right, now I'm going to add a second page. I'm going to call this Jamie's site. Okay. Just like that. You see the very top? Start here. That's home. And then Cat site and Jamie's site. Okay, so underneath Cat site, I'm going to show you this just as a beef of mine. I'm going to click on my name. All right. Cat site, and I'm going to add a page. I'm going to call this Twitter. And then click done. Here is where I'm kind of like, really? It didn't automatically pop up underneath my name.
That's what you're saying. Can you hover?
I can hover and I can drag. I can also rename, set as home page, rename page, and remove the page. So deletion is super easy. It's just like this. Ready? Gone. So, and now that means pages are no longer in the background just hanging out. So right now on this right here, I have so many pages, it's a little ridiculous. So I can go here and I can say, you know, manage site, go down to pages, and you're about to see like how many pages I have. This is a little ridiculous. Like, look at this, right? No longer do you have to deal with all this.
How did you, now how did you get that in on your page? Because when I made it a separate page, but I was on Jamie's site. I'm trying to drag it and drop it. It's not working. That's inefficient.
It's a little bit of, all right, so remember what I talked about the blue line earlier? And for those of you who are just tuning in, right, I'm here on the Twitter site. It just says Twitter. And I'm going to add a text box, all right, that says Twitter is awesome. Okay, I'm going to center it, and then I'm going to add an image below that. I'll do an inside search. By the way, it's a results shown are labeled for commercial use with modifications. So automatic lesson on digital citizenship. Call it Twitter. And then I'll just put that in and select. Right? Now watch. I can drag and drop this entire thing up. So you see the blue line that pops up right there? Have to look for that blue line. And this was hard for me this morning, especially if your screen, like right now, my byte speed has a lot of blue around it. So it's kind of hard to see if your resolution is not fantastic.
No, but how did you get a page within a page?
Yeah, so I'm going to click on Twitter. Ready? And then I'm going to drag it over my name carefully. See how hard that was?
Yeah, I've been trying that. It's not working. Let me try a little more carefully.
And then there it goes. You see the little dot, the little kind of an angle.
Right. All right, let me try.
I'm going to let you try because here's something that you're not noticing yet, everybody.
You dragged mine, but okay.
We can edit sites simultaneously. So right now, Jamie is editing and I'm editing.
Did it go?
See, it just moved right there. No. Jamie, maybe it's because you're on a Chromebook. I'm using a mouse, so I'm going to try it with my...
I have a mouse.
Whoa. See, look how hard that is. That is really difficult.
Like it's got to turn blue, right?
Yeah, it's got to hover right over it. Oh my gosh, that is.
Oh, there it went. Like there had to be a blue line at the bottom.
Okay.
Dag on.
The good news is there's a little folder. You can minimize that, so all those page that goes away.
I got my Twitter, and you got your. I got yours, and you got mine. Mine's really blah. Yours is really pretty.
They're so different. Oh, sorry. That's okay. All right. So, but notice up here the navigation. You see how I added little drop downs, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
but here's the thing. It's a scroll over navigation. You don't click. Like if you click, it goes just to Jamie's site. It's scroll over navigation, so you can't click and let it drop down. So then I go to Twitter. All right. With this in mind, Jamie, what if you don't like this top navigation?
What about
for example, here. You see
vertical
in the old site,
Mm-hmm.
right? Here's horizontal navigation. If I wanted to change it to vertical navigation,
Look at that.
right? I'd go right here and I'd say I want a sidebar. I can have both at the same time if I wanted to. Craziness, right? So here's the trick. Are you ready?
I just messed with yours. I already did it.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
But see, I don't know that I like that because you have to actually click on the hot dogs to see what's in that, what's there.
Right. So right here, look, I'm scrolling over the My Practice site. That's the hamburger, honey. Hamburger.
Oh, sorry.
See, it's hard to see. It's legit hard to see the gear. So I can go top navigation and then side navigation. Now, the one reason I like the side navigation is it takes off. If you end up having a gazillion pages over here, right?
Right.
It gets a little difficult to see. So I'm going to show you, for example, no one saw that Meraki link, okay? One of the ones I was working on this morning just for fun. And you'll see my struggle with trying to get a template in the site, the top there. All right, while that's happening, I like that side navigation. So here's the top navigation, and here's why I like the side navigation more. Let's go to preview mode. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Right there in the mobile, you automatically have a drop down, automatically. And then if you go to the iPad, and then here, you get that top. I like the fact that I can select automatically the side menu, and it gets people to start thinking in that kind of aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be used to it in a mobile site. So like here, for example, I actually went ahead and made this because we have a gazillion pages over here with drop downs. So that does not look very good on top navigation. You see more. I hate that. I really don't like that. So here it's big enough. And there it's big enough, but let's say if I shrunk it a little bit, let's see if it'll actually go just more. No, it's not that responsive yet. All right, so back here, I'm going to X out. And there is Jamie right there. So yeah, I kind of like, as opposed to top navigation, I'm just going to go ahead and do side navigation because it's so much easier. Okay, so clicking on that, I click on the drop down, and there's Twitter. The drop downs do not actually minimize themselves, which I like a lot, so you can see everything. Can you hear that rain, Jamie?
No, I can't.
It is pouring rain. It is pouring.
Good, we need it.
And we don't have, we're out in the country and we're parked in grass and mud. It's just a lot of fun. All right, now I want to show another beef of mine. Okay. I'm going to add another page. I'm going to add, let's call this Edgy View. What the heck? I'm going to
Yay! I know those girls.
Yeah, right? They're familiar people. It's been a while. Now, here's my thing. Let's say I have Cat Site and I have Twitter. I'm going to rename this. So I just click on the hot dog to rename. Sorry for the thunder. And rename page. I'm going to call this, oh, crap.
Oh, I wouldn't call it that.
But see, this navigation is really difficult. If you don't have a mouse of some sort, you can accidentally move things around. All right, so I'm going to click on my hot dog and rename this page. And I'm going to call this, see, I did it again. Rename page. I'm not going to use my mouse now. I'm going to call this, digital footprint. All right. What if I wanted?
Hey, Kat. So, Peggy, here's the thing. Okay, Facebook and Google need to get together here.
Yeah.
Because Facebook Live's awesome because you can answer questions on Facebook Live. So, Peggy wants to know, and I also want to know, all those sites we've already built, can we convert those babies?
I will get there in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts. Peggy's all excited. I need to get her a little practice account for fun. Peggy, this for you. All right. Let me go back to my practice site here. Okay, so watch this. If I wanted to drop EduView underneath digital footprint, I can't do it. You only have one page deep of tiers. You can't have like a extra tier underneath, which I did not like as much because I like my outlines. I like my tiered stuff. So you only can do one extra page deep, just FYI. All right, so what I want to show now, Jamie, if you could pop over to Jamie's site.
Sorry, I'm answering questions on Facebook again.
That's okay. What questions? Well, ask the question. What question do you have?
Well, no. So, in fact, I run a Blackboard, and we are trying to figure out that balance between where we use Blackboard, where we use Google, and for especially in K1, they're really going to use Blackboard as a repository of here are all of our resources, and here's how to get to that. And so, like Serena Gable, she's one of our kindergarten teachers who's a phenomenal tech rock star. She is amazing. And so her question was, is she going to embed a site link in Blackboard, or does she need the site at all? And, I really don't know the answer to that question at this point, because I think there's still value in the sites. And, can you convert the site? What does it look like when it converts? I think there's a lot of questions to be answered. If you already have an existing Google site,
right?
Like I wouldn't rebuild my old site for the purpose of putting it on Blackboard. Like that would seem silly to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. And you're gonna see it's still just very, a new product right now. Someone on Twitter had a great question. I'm gonna go back here and find it.
Okay, I'll stay on Facebook. You stay on Twitter.
Anne Carnival. She's at Anne M. Carnival, or Valet, however you like to pronounce that, Anne. She says, wonder how share permission changes will work on older sites once worked on in newer sites. Well, let me give you an idea right now. It doesn't work. So we actually have a site. We have a professional, our director of federal programs and professional learning. Her name is Shannon Hampton. She's exceptional. And I'll actually show you some of this. Get out of the Twitter here. In our old sites, she is implementing the behavior screening checklist so we can identify tier 3 and tier 2 students, and also help make sure that all the the hyperactive kids are not all in one classroom and not all the quiet kids are all in one classroom, so it helps registration. I have it set up here. I mean, and it took a long time to do, but it was so worth it, where it is extremely detailed page level permissions. So only certain people have access to certain pages at a time. I made a copy of this site and play with it. Your page level permissions do not transfer over. So unfortunately, when I go here and I want to go and share and say I only want certain people, you do not have that access yet. So you can bet that one of the first things that I submitted for feedback was page level permissions. So I would not transfer over your old sites just yet, because you will not get those specific page level permissions.
Another thing, and maybe I'm just not seeing it, is font option colors. It seems like I just don't have those options, those editing features. Oh, wait, no. So
no, see now right now, notice Jamie's on, okay, and she is playing with that. And right now I'm going to go ahead and go to insert, and I'm going to add a text box down here. And while I'm typing, she is typing also.
Oh, I love that. See, and I can see your typing on my site.
Right. So can you see me moving around everything too, so you can see that?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that you don't have is revision history. There's no, so that would have been nice if you have students editing a page at the same time. There's no revision history, because I can go back and I can undo last action. I don't think, Jamie, will that affect you? So that doesn't affect Jamie's work necessarily, just my work, right? But I can't see who has done what on this page. So there's no revision history.
Let's go crazy up in here.
Right. So we're able to add stuff at the same time, which is nice. But I can also delete Jamie's work. So I can delete her title. I can change the image because I think that's horrible. That is an absolutely horrible image.
I knew you would. You're so black, white, solid colors. I'm so black color.
I hate that adjusting, remove. I mean, I get what they're doing with the remove the readability. But I'm just gonna.
Well, if you can't change the font color, you have to do that because those backgrounds won't work with white.
Let me show you here, right? So this is me playing with some sort of. Pardon, it's absolutely horrible right now, but that was just me playing. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna adjust for readability and watch what it does. It'll just make everything kind of foggy. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So the image went foggy, which I don't like because that's my branding image. So,
right.
No. All right. So far we have pages and they act like folders, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you can add more pages and see Jamie's doing a hello. And I'm going to say, I don't like that there. Background. So well, think about it. Pretend you're a student. Y'all. So I like to have something I like to call the ooh shiny effect, which I think I've talked ad nauseum about, right? Think about it. When you meet when you play with something new, this was me this morning in my curriculum meeting with the curriculum director, playing with all this, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And all I wanted to do was play, and then I wanted to, if I had been doing something collaboratively with somebody else, come on, everybody has that kind of silly gene. They want to go and see what they can do. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna unfortunately have those students. This is it's a big paradigm shift when it comes to sites. You're gonna have collaborative site stuff. People are gonna delete each other's work, and notice I can't go back. If you delete my stuff, I don't think I can go back and re-enable it. So let's see.
I got rid of hello.
You got rid of hello?
Uh-huh.
All right, so if I go back.
I deleted it. And I'm gonna change.
So no, I can't even, if you delete my work, I can't go back and find it. That is troublesome. If I can't have page level permissions and
right. Yeah.
This might be good for individual student portfolios, definitely.
But but here's the real hiccup, because my first year with these kids, they were pretty cautious. They didn't really, get into much. Last year's kids, yikes. They were like sharing. I mean, even when they were fourth graders, they were sharing with the world. Mm-hmm. So it was hard to teach them what was okay to share and what wasn't okay to share, right. And what would happen if you shared something and all your work went away. But again, you're right. In the past, like with a doc, the revision history is there. You go back and restore it to, whichever version works for you.
Right.
That's kind of an important feature if you're going to let kids collaborate.
Yeah. What Jamie's talking about is right over here. So I was able to go down to revision history, or recent site activity, and I can go back here to, where was it? Revision history right there. So I'm able to see on a site, look how many versions. That's scary. And I can revert to all these versions. So that's one thing that we're missing now.
Right.
So we're missing templates, we're missing that, the sharing permissions. So it's the same thing as when we switched to forms and we lost a lot of features, but it took a while for it all to come back. So it'll come back eventually. So I made a page here for drive embedding. Okay. I want to show people what's really something I like a lot. So yeah, the page features issue, or the page permissions issue is a problem. However, here we go. And Jamie, I'm going to have you share your screen just a second, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to insert a doc. So it's going to go and just search through my drive. All right. And we have Oconee County Schools has a publication called State of the School every year. And I'm going to insert the article I wrote about it, about our one-to-one program. So we're going one-to-one in the next couple of years with Chromebooks. So I'm going to click insert. Watch this. Isn't that nice? Do you see this? There's no scroll bar, right? So if I go and I preview it, let's go to this. This is what it looks like in a preview. So I get an automatic scroll bar here. So I can't say click off or no. My one problem with this is it's not very intuitive to pop out. Do you see right there is that gray button for popping out? So I could pop that out and it'd open up in a new window.
Right.
Now, Jamie, you do not have permission for this document. So by the way, I can enlarge this right here. So I'm going to enlarge it. So I can make it a little bigger so you can just see part of that. I can also change the background to it. So I can make it emphasis 2. So look at that. Now I have a nice little slide thing. Jamie, do me a favor and share your screen of
I'm on
this
it.
page.
Yeah, but I just get that box, so I can't see anything in the box.
Really? Now, if you click on the box, what happens?
Nothing.
All right, go to the preview.
All I have is pop out and delete.
Try the pop out.
Then it takes me to the doc and tells me that I need permission.
There you go. So that's your way around that issue. So see Jamie right there, she doesn't have access to it, but this is literally that same thing right here. So interesting. I can also see, by the way, I can see that Jamie is actually clicked on this right now. So, and I pop out, I have permission for it. So there's good and bad to this, right? The good being, just temporarily stopping that so I could talk to the screen here. The good being that because you don't have those page level permissions, if you are really careful about your permissions with Drive documents, then the people who aren't supposed to see those things, they'll only see a blank box, and they'll have to click on it in order to pop out and request permission. However, if you're somebody who's not good with permissions and you don't keep up with it, it does not automatically give permissions. Because Jamie, she's an editor on the site, but it's not automatically giving her rights to the doc that I put in, which is not, it's a little more difficult. Classroom automatically does that, gives the rights, the view rights, the whatever rights. So I'm assuming that they're eventually going to maybe integrate that somehow. It makes a lot of sense if they're, you know.
Well, that was our major issue. Sharon and I will preach it to the heavens. Mm-hmm. I bet if we had $1 for every time one of our kids did not share, change the sharing settings on a doc, right, Sharon and I could retire. We wouldn't need to do this job. I mean, It literally, I mean, I did 150 sites last year, 150 sites with kids. And I swear every single day my words were, you got to change the sharing settings. You got to change the sharing settings. Right. You got to, I mean, and literally we just couldn't drive it home. And then the bigger problem became, well, they couldn't change the sharing settings because Johnny had started the Google slideshow and he couldn't share it. He didn't have that right. And so and Johnny's of course in another class. Why wouldn't that be the option, right? So, I mean, it was just, and that's been our biggest pain. And I've honestly said I want to take our portfolios to Blackboard because Google Sites has been such a pain. So I don't know. I don't know if this will change my opinion.
My thing is, my biggest worry, so I got out of a meeting with a County County Middle School a couple weeks ago, and we have the new principal is there, some really great APs, Kristen Harrison and Dallas Aduff. They're fantastic. New principal is Keith Carter. They want to produce portfolios for all their kids. And I was like, Site Maestro, right? There is that beautiful add-on or script, Site Maestro, where you can just have that template and then just push it out to everybody. And that means that whoever is the one who's pushing everything out you're automatically an owner to all those sites. It's easy to keep up with everything. And it just makes it automatically from a roster.
But from the Google admin settings, can you not also make that an option?
I don't know. I have to look.
I thought Amy Petrosky said that she could make from the Google admin settings an option that anything shared with certain users you could set up certain users as saying anything that those users do is shared with the domain.
I'll go check in a little bit. I'll check. Because this, by the way, the Google sites, the new sites, there is no different anything on the domain side of things, as far as I can tell. And we'll go visit. I'll pop you in the domain. We'll go visit and see if anything is turned on or turned off. Because I haven't looked yet, so we'll look together.
It would be huge. I mean, if we could say the student user group of 5th graders, anything that student user group does is shared with the domain, the domain. I mean, they shouldn't be doing anything that's not being able to be shared, right? They're 5th graders. Right. And then they would not have to worry about those sharing settings. Would that not be heaven?
Yeah, but at the same time, I bet you that it's not going to apply to the new sites because it's so separated, right? But we'll see. We'll go and visit in a second. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't looked at yet. If anybody else has any comments, if anybody's watching, please shoot them to me or Jamie, either in Google Plus or in Twitter or Facebook for Jamie's case. Here we are again. So with this, I do have that ability to drop it down. I can't customize, unfortunately, whether or not you see a scroll bar. So you'll automatically get a scroll bar. And I can, of course, change the background, which I do kind of like. So let's look at this. I want to show this on, whoops, not publish. Well, it's going to publish now. That's just me having a moment here. So I will
once you're
kick it over.
published, you still can go back and edit, right? It's not like you're
Yes, I can.
out.
I can go here and let's see. Do I have the? I don't have anything up here yet. So here I am, and now I want to. What did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to preview. All right, so here I am, Drive Embedding. Ready? So I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see, because I didn't expand it all the way, it's going to give me all 2 pages, automatic scroll bar and everything, which I'm kind of like, nah. But here's the killer. Here it is in mobile view. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nice? And
I
look what
don't
it did.
bad at all.
Right? And it gives you the link right there to pop out into docs. So that looks really nice in mobile view. They're really killing it with the mobile view setting. So I'm happy with that because it looks so much better than what it looked like. If you had tried to do mobile on the old sites, it would never really fit properly with docs. All right, so what have we not embedded before we run on to anything else here? A couple things I want to show that I discovered as well. We can go to forms, by the way. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like how forms is. Let me show you.
See, I couldn't embed a form. I tried, well, I showed you mine because it's an FCBOE form. It showed up, but you couldn't see anything because you didn't have permission.
Exactly. The whole permissions thing is kind of a pain. So, you know, here, Jamie and I talked about earlier, everybody now in the state of Georgia, every certified staff has to have a professional learning goal. And that's just across the state. So we had for classroom teachers, we had TEKs, and now everybody has to have a goal of some sort. So I was working on that earlier. So notice, by the way, I can do multiple forms. You see, I can select like as many forms as I want. Please don't do this.
Wow.
Please don't do that.
Put 8 forms on there.
Good Lord, no, because this is why. Ready? I'm clicking on this form, clicking insert.
And stretch that out or center that. Oh, gosh, that bugs me.
Isn't it right? So you still get the clicky draggy thing. And what I really like too is here I can delete the title. Ready for this? I'm going to drag that straight on up, baby. Isn't that nice? Now here's the fun part. If I click on here and drag it down, that whole background will follow along with me. All right, so I'm going to actually expand this all the way. It's a pretty long form. I'm going to try to expand it all the way. I'm a little glitchy. Do you see how it's taken a while? It's like it has to double think for some reason.
So obviously it's new. The likelihood is, you know, there's going to be.
Right, so I'm going to go preview now. Ready? So let's look at this. See, you still get that scroll bar. I wish I could turn it off. And it does go all the way down, so you'll always get that bottom part. And then here it is on, this is what I do like, the mobile version. Look how nice that form turned out.
Wow.
Right? So literally people could do this on their forms or on their phones.
Right.
So yay.
Well, I know that Serena, for the past 2 years, has actually done her, instead of sending home a form with parents to fill out, like, you know, the stuff we need to know, you know, parent information, allergy, you know, all that beginning of the year stuff, Serena's done a Google form and put that out to parents. So that comes back to Serena in a nice, pretty Google sheet, and she has all that info, and she's not handling paper. And so that's beautiful because she could have that linked to a site, and that could easily be done right there on that site on a mobile device. So there's some potential there.
Oh, interesting. I try to do charts. And I know I have charts for, so we ran a software roll call, kind of see what people were using, what they want to use. So, and I have charts in here because I use it for presentations. So I'm going to insert the software roll call. Oh, look at this, Jamie.
See, I tried to do charts too, and I have charts from my Google Boot Camp. And see, let's see if yours goes. Mine wouldn't go.
Yeah, mine didn't want to go either. I want to try one more time.
I got that same thing. Like I would put it in, and it would like disappear. It would show up for like 1 second and then go away.
Right. I like the search feature, by the way, so I can search for these things. So if I click there and insert, I get a little pop-up menu now that says, okay, so there's my histogram. I thought I had more charts than that. Now I'm very carefully Scroll down a little bit and click add. Okay, so finally it went up. That was weird. So I can go down here. See, okay, good. So it does act just like a chart. So you can make it as big as you need it to make it. All right, so that makes me happy. The charts thing is nice. That finally maybe, because I'm a huge spreadsheet nut. So I love charts and spreadsheets. So having this here is nice. Now, one thing I will say, awesome table, right? Supposedly, and I'll pop it up here and see if I can find the announcement. Supposedly, awesome table now works with the new Google Forms, or Google Sites rather. Because if you use awesome table, then you're familiar. It's a great database tool. But I'll find it and I'll tweet about it. But I had an email about it earlier this morning that talked about awesome table. And those of you who don't know what awesome table is, let me backtrack here. All right, I'm going to really quickly. You won't be able to see any student data, I don't believe. Of course, yes, you do. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can cover this up to keep privacy, and then I can show you awesome table. And Jamie, you can talk for 1 second so I can get this up.
I was just looking. Oh, I guess, well, we're live. Remember how we used to have, like, we could see a timer, couldn't we?
No, there was no timer.
There was no timer?
All right, so I can show you now. This is an awesome table. So I'm able to actually, search by homeroom teacher and by student's grade level, and I can do, this kind of scroll bar to get data from a spreadsheet. Supposedly, this now works in the new Google Sites, but you actually have to go to the Awesome Table website and put the embed code in. So you no longer have all those things that we're used to seeing. Let's go to, I guess I have to go to the site and go home. So if you edit a page in the old sites, do you remember how you had to go and add on a gadget?
Yep.
They're gone. All gadgets are gone.
I hated gadgets. They never really worked for me. I mean, they were clunky and
recent lists. There's the chart. YouTube horizontal line. You can't do a horizontal line. I kind of hacked that by doing an image. So you can't automatically do a horizontal line anymore. So it's just a couple of things that we're all used to that won't be there anymore.
Well, I mean, I think in time they'll get a lot of feedback, and as we know, just with Google Classroom, how much that's changed just by all of the Google feedback that people have submitted. And I think in time, but the reality is people will have to get on here, right? And so, Kat, how did you get early access to this?
I requested it. Let's see. Actually, no. I should be able to get this information from right here. Really quick, if you'll notice in the corners of my screen, the very bottom left corner, there's an exclamation point. If you're familiar with Classroom, that exists. By clicking on here, if I'm on a page that has a problem, this pops up. So I'm able to describe my issue and include a screenshot. So once it actually goes, so I can say, please include page level permissions, right? And then I can go here and I can actually highlight what I'm talking about. And I'll X that out and I'll do here, and there we go. And I can just submit that for feedback. So they really do want feedback, which I think is awesome, all right? Here, I have, again, send feedback, help, and take a tour. So I'm going to click on, actually, I don't think it's going to take me where I want it to go. That just gives me the instructions. So I'm going to Google search this really fast. So let's do double click. New Google Sites, which is not easy. I guess since what's new in Google Apps, it's probably going to be in there, isn't it? The release calendar. Well, I know that it exists in. Let me get the actual link via the Google Plus, our Georgia Educator Group for Google, because we did share it on there as well. But then you have to opt in, and you have to actually have a Google for Work, right? So Google now is no longer just, you have the partitions of for education for business, but they're all under one umbrella of Google for Work, which makes sense to me. So you have to have one of those domains in order to use it, and you're really locked into your domain. And in a little bit, once this pops up, because all my internet's being slow, probably because we're in a thunderstorm right now, I'll get that link up, and we'll just tweak the link later. But you have to opt in, and you have to be a super admin. So like Jamie, unfortunately,
no super admin.
No, you're not. You're not. You have to be a super admin, and the form that pops up, unfortunately, it won't actually give you access to the form if you're not logged in as a super admin to your domain. And thankfully, I am.
See, I told you I'm hanging out with the big guns.
Apparently, you do. And I can't get to that right now, but it's in the Google Apps updates. It is in the Google Apps updates, so we'll tweet it out later. And of course, I'm sure if you go and just follow the hashtag Google Sites on Twitter, you'll find the link as well. So unfortunately, if you don't have a Google Apps domain, or if your administrator is kind of wary about this stuff, yeah, at least you can show them this video and show them that it's pretty cool, and it looks a lot like Classroom. So
I did try it with my FCBOE, and it just didn't do anything. It was sad.
I'm so sorry.
I don't even know who our super admin is. Sharon, who's our super admin? Sarah? Eddie? I don't know.
You should probably have a handful of them. You'll probably have a handful.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back over here. So I'm going to go again. So sites.google.com will give me my other sites. So I'm going to click New. And now you'll see that I have everything popping up here. And I can go back to classic sites as well. By the way, deleting a site is unfortunately really easy. Do you see this?
That might be too easy.
It is very, very easy. And my concern is,
I'm thinking of kids. Oh my God, that's too easy.
Yeah. So we're going to go in the domain side of things in just a second and see how that looks, if there's any kind of new information for new sites. But yeah, with kids being able to delete that. Now my thing is, okay, so this right here, see, I'm just an editor. I'm not the owner on this one, and I can still remove it. That's problematic. And you're actually able to go back and look for, in the old sites, look for sites that you deleted. So I don't know if I like that so much. Going back here, I think I've covered everything. Someone asked about your old sites, how to transfer over. And we got an email with information about what we could read and say about Google Sites. So I will actually open it up over here for you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can get this open, and I can share the actual wording with y'all, because why not?
Why not?
You don't want to see all my email, trust me.
Hey, I responded to a work email yesterday. It was
really?
the first one I'd responded to all summer. It's huge. It was a moment.
Only you.
Only me.
All right. And while that's opening up, let's see. Google Sites. It's taking a little while to open, so I'm going to see if I can find it here. Again, I think our internet's a little slow because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm. So since I can't show it to you right now, I'm going to open it up on my Mac because my Mac is being a little more reliable. And so the email says, "Dear admin," because again, you have to be an admin. Congratulations, your organization now has early access to the new Google Sites. So it's not automatically shifting everything over, which is nice. We ask that you tell your users across all functions about the new sites. Sites your users create on the new platform will continue to work with the new Google Sites as it launches for everyone. For a short period, administrators will not see a service on-off control for new sites in the admin console. So right now we can't turn off new sites on and off, that's okay. But that control is coming soon. So for those of you who are thinking, well, my admin is just a very hesitant person about new sites on and off. Yeah, so they'll be able to have that functionality soon. So let me find this email for y'all. And then it actually has an email that we can forward to colleagues. And by the way, you will continue to have full access to the current version of Google Sites on sites.google.com, and any sites created on the new product will continue to work once it launches for everyone. There is no way that I have found so far to transfer an old site to a new site. I'm willing to give it a shot right now, and we can see what happens. Am I frozen, Jamie? You're muted, by the way. Somebody is out
The
of.
dog started barking at nothing.
That's okay. I got a thunderstorm, and I have my coworkers, and we're just
Yeah,
like,
you don't
what do we
want
do?
Xander barking. No, you were not frozen.
Okay. Yeah, so right now in the admin console, you don't have the ability, and I'll take you in. Let me log in really quick. And we can take a peek in the admin. So at least with this video, you can show people your administrators. And again, it's super admin. So if you have rights to your school, you're not a super administrator. Super admins are people that control everything. God-like people.
Oh no, here she goes.
Hush, 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 hush. I have a two-step verification turned on, but I do want to show you the overview email that it asked you to send.
So Peggy's saying that Eric Hart says you have to rebuild from scratch. You're not able to convert old sites to new format because they're entirely different platforms. Yeah.
Right. Not right now, no. I'm going to assume, though, that that won't always be the case. There's got to be a way, because so many people, like right now in our domain, I ran a report. We have 900 Google sites in our domain. 900.
Wow.
So what do you do in that case?
You don't rebuild 900 sites.
No, you don't. And Google knows this. Google, they're smart people. So I bet you that they'll come up with a way to make it possible for people to actually convert at least parts of things, or at least, you can gather images and content and just put it into boxes, because essentially you have text boxes and images that should be transferable over definitely.
Agreed.
Okay. So I am here in my admin, so I'm going to share this now. All right, share. All right, there we go. So clicking here on sites. Jamie, is this your first time seeing inside an admin console?
Maybe.
All right,
I think I've just seen it at the Google Summits.
Okay. So here are your share settings, and of course here is our organizational structure, right? So if I click on students and devices right now, creations of sites, they can create sites, commenting, they cannot, there's no commenting available.
Good call.
I'm wondering though, if I turn on comments for faculty and users, I want to see what happens on the new sites. So access settings, users can share outside of Crane High Schools. See, so you can, and that's in the old sites. And of course, templates, you can enable custom templates, but that doesn't apply to new sites. There's nothing here about the new sites. Nothing. Nothing about, getting things out to groups of people. So if you're using Site Master right now, you're not going to be able to use it in collaboration with the new sites. But I'm sure that they'll step it up.
Very true.
So Jamie, I'm going to refresh and see if, because we're both in the faculty and staff organizational unit, to see if that makes a difference. See if you have commenting features. I bet we don't. No, it says you don't have commenting features anymore. So in the old sites, you're able to comment. And here you don't have that, which is a good and bad thing. You no longer have to go and edit page settings, which I kind of like. So let's go back to here. I can edit my page. Whoops.
Are those Bitmojis?
They are Bitmojis. Don't judge too much. So I can say, my page settings. Notice, remember, page title, show links to subpages, allow attachments, and allow comments. So if I allow comments at the very bottom of this page, people would be able, if they're logged in, to leave comments. So now you don't have that feature either, which is okay, because I always turned it off, but some people did like it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used that feature.
Yeah. So I think that's literally everything I could have thought of. See, really quick, the embed the drive folder, which I think is a really awesome tool. So any drive folder you have, so here's all my Bitmojis, since you mentioned it.
I'm going to put them all in there.
Insert it.
And I want to see if it comes as like a folder icon. See, now can you switch that so that you actually see?
Yes, you can. Look at that.
Yes, you can. Grid view, beautiful.
Oh.
You voted.
Yeah. So there, so you can actually see the pictures, but you can't just get like a folder icon, which I guess you
See,
can
I
solve
didn't
that.
like the folder icon. I wanted that grid view. I wanted to be able to see what was inside those folders and like have a visual of it.
All right, so let's see what that looks like in the previews.
So all of those are Bitmojis, but it only pulled up one in the grid view.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming because I had it small. So let's go back here, and we'll go to click on here, and then there, do grid view, done, and now.
Oh, gotcha. Great speech. I love
And
it.
of course, I can change the background. Oh, look, it changes. Ooh, it changes all the background. Good Lord. Okay, so I'm going to change the theme and see it changes everything. And I wish there was a little more customization for the themes. I really do. But what can you do?
It'll be there. It'll get there in time.
So clicking there, I can go back to all my various sites. And that's it. I mean, that's the overview. It's essentially looks
awesome.
like forums, like Drive, like Classroom, just like everything. So
I love it.
yeah, it's
Yay.
as somebody who is a super admin and somebody who trains teachers, I will say that opting in and turning it on is not worrisome. It's not going to go away. They're heading in that direction. So now that you're beginning the new school year, it's perfect timing. So now you can tell people, don't use the old sites to create your new sites. So that means that, for all 400 kids or that across our district who are creating e-portfolios, unfortunately, they're going to have to figure out a way to do that. But at least it's available now. And showing this video, people can know there is a huge differentiation. You have the sites like google.com, the classic sites, and you have the sites like google.com/new. So they don't exist, they don't coexist together. They exist in two separate locations, which I think is really good for people who are super admins or people who train teachers and they're worried about, confusion. I think that's going to limit confusion a lot. So they'll know the difference.
Yeah, Peggy says she loves that positive attitude.
Hey, you have to look at it some way positive, right?
Exactly.
So my biggest concerns are the ease of deletion. And now granted, I do believe, and pardon me if I'm saying this wrong, I do believe that as a super admin, I can go back and I can undelete things that you deleted. That doesn't mean please don't go delete things. Okay.
I know in our case, we had some things that some kids decided to delete their whole drive, and
yeah, you have 30 days. I think
yeah.
it's 30 days of history. Yeah.
30 days. Yeah.
I don't think that applies to sites. Sites have been just very, very different. So, for example,
that would be helpful.
Migrating. So we used to be on 6 different domains and we put it all into one domain.
Right.
It's easy to move everything over from contacts and Gmail. It's a little bit more of a pain to do Drive. They could do it by hand. Sites, unfortunately, is not easy to move. It's always been just very, very different. So I'm hoping that the fact that you can see like the purpose he's trying to integrate it more with Drive. I'm hoping that means that it's more transferable.
Right.
Because if you leave the system, if you're a teacher leaving the system, you can't now the new Drive. You can't make a copy of these sites.
Right.
So I can't create a template and just make it somewhere else. It's hard to. And now that you're stuck in the district, I can't. I want to see if I can try to share this with. And we'll just go ahead and share this because this is a good reference tool. All right, so I'm going to go back here to a site, right? And I'm going to go into my practice site. I'm going to try to share this with Jamie. What's your personal? I think I know it. I'll just try my personal one here. Once it wants to pop up, a little bit of a lag still, so I'm going to go here. It recognizes me because I've sent myself stuff before. She's not in the organization. Okay, so I can actually edit. Ooh, I can make myself, okay, so that's nice. So I discovered something new. So now if you're transferring site, let's say that you leave your organization and you want to actually take over ownership. So now I can actually make
your personal account, you're the owner of that, yeah.
Yes, I can.
Now the question is, once you make your personal account, because it's in your domain, so
I don't know. Let's find out. I'm saving it.
Xander.
Okay. Oh, look, Jamie. Look. Sorry. Cannot transfer ownership to cat flipping at Gmail. Ownership can only be transferred to another user in the same domain. that is not okay. So unfortunately, no, and you can't export it. So like in the old sites, right, you were able to actually save it as a template. And here, see, I can save page as a template. And now I'm not able to do that. So there's a lot of implications. I'm hoping that as time goes on, just like the classrooms, just like the forms, right, when they made those big changes, they kept on making it better and adding things. And I mean, Classroom, what has it been now? 2 years? Ever since the Google Teacher Academy I helped lead in Mountain View when we first talked about Classroom. Look at how far they've come. So they're making a lot of good changes, and I'm hoping that, with sites, especially being released first to domain users in the Google for Work domain, I'm hoping that means that they'll make some positive changes and they'll listen. But submit feedback. I know for a fact they do like to read and hear.
Now my question is, I know I had some teachers that error popped up for. So we did the Google Takeout. Okay. So that's always an option if you're leaving your domain and you want your docs and your calendar and your contacts and all of that. So the Google Takeout option worked beautifully for some teachers that were leaving. So I would hope that this new Google Sites would fall into that same category, and we'd still be in that zone to be able to do the Google Takeout option.
We'll find out.
Okay, let's find out.
So here I am in Google Takeout. My problem with Google Takeout is for Drive. If you want to export, you do a drop down. So I can say document formats. Notice that there is no format for Drive. So you have to automatically, you can select files and folders, but you're not able to actually export it in a Drive format to import again, just FYI. Sites, I don't see sites, Jamie, look at that. There's no sites.
Yikes.
So, see, this is just so problematic because as a teacher, if I'm creating a site, I'm going to hope that within the next school year, hopefully, they'll make it so it's easy to transfer or easy to save in some facet. Because if I'm a teacher, I'm going to go to a new school system that's on a different domain. Why would I put all this work in a site?
Exactly.
In a new site that I can't even say, like my old stuff, right. I can export all that as a template and just re-upload it somewhere else, no problem. But yeah, I'm not liking that so much. But again, they'll probably change it as time goes on.
Well, Kat, I am so happy you showed this to me and a whole bunch of other people. Here's my thoughts the whole time. If we had a world where Google, the features of Google Hangouts and the features of Facebook Live came together, what a world. Because the problem with Facebook Live is I can't add you, right? So I can go live me, and if you're sitting beside me, we can go live. But there's no way you're doing an, oh my gosh, I got a brainwave.
Well, no, one of my favorite things with sites is that you could actually embed a link for Hangouts.
Oh.
Yeah, and I didn't see that here. So here, okay, so let me share my screen again and see if I can actually,
This is how Kat operates. I talk, something hits her, and she's like, oh, look, new world.
Let me share. This is a disappointment for me because this is one of my favorite things to share whenever I do training and consulting, is the fact that here I am editing this page, right? And I can go right here, I can do insert, hangout, start a hangout button, and phone call.
That wasn't an option in the new sites.
No. And you know what else I noticed in new sites?
Hey, it's called feedback, girl. Feedback.
Hey, look at this. I can't do a link out on a page. Can I? I was able to link directly out on the old sites to certain pages.
Oh, I got you. To just one page.
Right. So here, the Coney IT blog. That right there, I could click there and it opens up a new page.
You just want to share that page.
How do I do that? Because I can click on my title and I can add a link. So I'm wondering, because it just links to site pages. So I'm wondering if that will make it happen for me. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to say link, http www.coneyschools.org. I'm going to apply. Okay, no, they didn't do it. They put the link in. Link me. No, it just became just a link. So
Hey, Ryan White said, thanks for doing this. I know, Ryan. I'm excited too. It's been a great opportunity to see all of this and see what we have and what we don't have.
Right. Well, and I mean, I can get over it eventually, but I really like the fact that I was able to click on things and link out the things. And now I don't see a way. If somebody else sees a way of doing it, please tell me, because I need that.
Right. If you build multiple pages, and you might just want to share that one page.
Right, right. Man, it's so easy to delete pages too. The deletion thing bothers me as a teacher, as a former teacher. The deletion thing, not even as a former teacher, as a trainer of teachers, the deletion thing bothers me.
Yeah, because you'll have teachers in training going, "Oh, look, delete! Oh no!"
Yeah.
Kind of spend all her time going and restoring teachers.
I think a good rule of thumb is going to be, you're going to have to be, for both students and teachers, I feel like you're going to have some sort of playground of some sort, and really get in and see what's going on. I'm going to check Twitter really quick to see if you have any questions before we wrap up. But thanks, Jamie, for hanging out and playing. You always harass the people to get on in, but please use this for the super admins that run it up the ladder so they can see that it is actually pretty safe, except for the whole deletion thing. But as long as people know that it's something new, I do think that it's wise at the beginning of the school year, if anybody's thinking about doing a new site, to build it within Google, the new sites.
But you gotta have access, and I currently don't have access.
Right. If that transfer thing ever comes on, see.
Vicky Sedgwick on Twitter said that she heard there's going to be a way to convert sites, but it may not convert well. So.
Yeah.
And then she says when you delete a site, it goes into drive trash, so you can't get it back.
Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna play with that really quick, so we can show. Thank you so much, Vicky. Yay! I love these people. All right. Let me go and share the screen so we can test. So drive trash is where she said it went.
And Anne says that she feels like she was just at an ISTE session.
Well, thank you. Not at ISTE.
We're not, clearly. This is my first year that I haven't been in 3 years. Mm-hmm. But Disney's calling my name, folks. Disney. ISTE or Harry Potter.
Okay, so this practice site, I want to delete it. You ready?
Oh, yes, I think. Ouch.
Okay, here we go.
That's called remove now. Remove sounds better than delete. Remove sounds like we can come back later.
Jamie, it gives you a notification right there. Site moved to trash and drive.
Oh, yay, Vicky. Yeah, you're right. That's awesome.
Vicky, you just totally made my
day. Get that out of the trash.
All right, but what about pages you delete? Do they go to a trash?
Damn it. Because that's probably on the site, right? So that's probably site specific.
Right. All right, so I'm trying to go to trash here so we can see. Look at that. You're right.
There it is.
Wow, they really are making it sync very closely. Mm-hmm. Drive. That's interesting.
Good call. Yay, Vicky. Thanks for that.
All right. So if anybody else...
Everyone else panicked.
Oh, my God. I know. Seriously. So I just know people's propensity to delete things by accident. So.
Well, thanks, girl. This was awesome. I missed you.
Thank you. Thanks for I missed you too. Thank you for playing along. It was a lot of fun this morning. Just 2 hours, kind of by myself geeking out, and I'm like, no, I got to share this. It's so exciting as somebody who likes sites, and I know for a fact Ryan White commented, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Yeah, I know for a fact his district is looking at going to Google Sites for their actual web pages. Now, think about that for a second.
Ryan's in Rome. Yes. Is that Floyd County?
So, yeah, Floyd County. I love my Georgia people. So, unfortunately, I don't know. It could be fortunate because it is very mobily accessible. So there's a lot to be said about the new sites when it comes to developing websites for schools and districts.
True.
So, I wonder what's going to roll out. Maybe add-ons. I would like to see add-ons.
And Peggy says, fantastic. Thanks to us both. Thank you for watching, Peggy.
Miss Peggy. I've known Peggy for way too long.
All right, girl. I appreciate this. This was awesome.
Awesome. And
if you don't know, I'm sure everybody watching knows, but if you don't know, Google came out with crazy news yesterday. One being that Google Expeditions will be for sale on by Best Buy. I actually have it up. I could do probably a screen share real fast.
How much is it? How much is it?
$1,000.
That's $1,000 for a class set?
Yeah, but you get everything. So you get the box, you get the router, you get the 30 Mattel viewers. Look at that, 30 Mattel viewers. Can you see it? Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, really quick, as a side note.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 grand. I'm sorry, 10 grand. Holy moly.
Dude, let me talk about
I said a grand. There's a big difference between a grand and 10 grand.
Oh, 10 grand? Good Lord. I mean, this thing is like unbreakable. Hello, English.
Yeah.
I have let my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old play with it, and
Okay.
they've dropped it a zillion times. Still working really nicely. Cardboard kind of disintegrates after about a month.
Yeah. So get to grant writing, folks. Get to grant writing. And then if you didn't hear yesterday, Google also has released Google Cast for Education.
Oh, yes. I've been playing with that too.
Crossing my fingers. This will be blocked in my district. Right here. Crossing my fingers.
I don't think it'll be blocked.
I don't understand it yet. I've read and read. Our wireless does not talk to our wired, so unless, like, the router option with the expeditions is what works beautifully. It has to have a way that it does not require us to have our wireless talk to our wired. So I've read a whole bunch. It makes me feel like possibly it's going to work, but I'm not sold that we're going to be able to do it.
Here's my big beef about the Cast for Education. Okay.
See here, it says that admins install the Cast for Education app for teachers, and then also the Cast for Education. Do that, Kat. Go do that.
That's not it. Scroll up.
What?
Scroll up. Just click on where it says Enable Media Router on each device. How many Chromebooks do you have in your district?
You would have to do that on every single device.
Every single device.
Okay, and I did this yesterday. I could not find the part that said Media Router. There were 400 million choices. I got tired. I quit looking.
I got it. So if you just do a search, so Control F, right there, Media Router. So I click Enable. All right, so if you look in my upper right-hand corner here where I have all my extensions, right? So watch this, Enable, and I'm going to have to relaunch it. So I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to relaunch it. You'll see that it actually does.
Oh, no, she jumped out. Kat, come back. Well, she's gone. That's no bueno. So if you have to enable that on each device, that's definitely a no bueno. I like good news, but I don't like bad news that comes with good news. Kat, where'd you go? Kat, where'd you go? So anyway, these are some really good things. They also announced yesterday that you were going to be able to do, in Google Classroom, you'll be able to do quizzes that will be graded for you, which is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. So lots of new great things coming out of ISTE from Google. And yeah, so I don't know where Kat went. I'm afraid to quit without her. Let me stop screen sharing. So yeah, so it's just me. Where'd you go, Kat? Here's technology. I'm just going to Vox her. That's how we work with technology. That's how we work. Just real quick, just going to find the old Vox app. If you don't use Voxer, oh my gosh, use Voxer. That's the wrong Vox. Hey, Kat, did you jump out? Do you want me to end this Hangout? This is how we communicate most of the time. There she is. There she is.
I think you restarted all of them, not just one.
I Voxed you.
That's okay. I was, so, you know, I log in with multiple, you do the multiple browser login, right? And that was only one browser. It shut down all of my browsers, for the record. So that setting is like a desktop setting. So
yikes.
But let me show you really quick what it looks like. So we're already here. Share.
You did what? Control F, is that what you said?
Control F and just search Media Router. See, that's not popping up there either. See, now it wasn't everyone. Let me go to the right browser. That moment when you have too many browsers open.
Like you always do.
Yeah, having one of those moments here. All right, there we go. So Chrome flags. By the way, if you never played with Chrome flags, they're a lot of fun.
I've never played with Chrome flags until yesterday. I mean, it's been crazy. I'm in developer mode on my other Chromebook, so I can run Android apps. Oh, that's the other new thing, folks. You can run Android apps on the Asus Flip Chromebook right now. More to come. Google's killing it.
Here, the hamburger, and there's Cast. So once a student has that, a student can actually select local cast. It's setting it up is kind of very confusing, very confusing. So just follow those instructions that Jamie had. Just if you Google search it, they'll pop up. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a setup. The fact that I had to put my hands on every single Chromebook to do that, because you can't roll that out as a district. So you can't say in Chromebooks or in Chrome devices, that's a user setting, that's not a device setting. So every time a user logs into a new device, that's going to have to happen. Yeah, about that. So,
okay, that's not going to work. No, we got to fix that.
Yeah. All right. So, but that's all with that. We can, once I have that figured out, we'll do another hangout.
Yeah, I missed you.
I miss you too. All right. If anybody has any questions, just let us know. But use this as a resource. We'll probably go in and the YouTube side of things, and we'll put some titles and tags and stuff to make it searchable and easy to find.
And when she says we, she means her.
Yeah.
She sounds so nice, but I'm totally not doing that.
Jamie, you learned to speak in we's. Come on, speak in we's.
I know. I was just trying to give you props because people are like, "Oh, that's so nice of Jamie." Jamie's totally not helping Kat do that.
Ha 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 ha.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, Jamie, hang tight when we'll close the broadcast. So, all right, guys, thank you so much.